Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Yogi Ramsuratkumar
Yogi Ramsuratkumar
Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama 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 Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Ashram. We have offered our grateful pranams with the Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagwan for this great fortune of our being able to gather here and sing his powerful name. Today is a very special day, a holy, holy day, the day of Arudra Darshan. There is a song on Lord Shiva which says, a Sanskrit song which says, Hey Shiva, you have Ganges right on your head and water is pouring out all the time. How cool it should be, how cold. And added to it, you have the crescent moon. And the moon is famous for its coolness. And Shiva, it should already be very chill. Now you have the snakes. The snakes as ornaments. And we know the snake body is very cold, chill. So as it crawls all over you, it must be more cool. And then they say, the song says, you have given half your body to Parvati. And who is she? He is the king of the snow mountain of the Himalayas. And her heart, she is a divine mother. She is the divine mother whose heart melts out of love whenever she sees her devotees. So you see, it's more. It is added coolness. And what is more, everywhere people tie up a vessel over your head and the water is dripping, drop by drop, all the time. And then they do Chandan, Abhishekam. Chandan itself is very cool. And its Abhishekam is being done on you. And then the song says, in spite of all this coolness, I wonder how you manage. It's very cold, it must be very, very cold because you're wearing all that is very cool. Now I have understood, I found out, because you are in my heart and my heart is filled with such agitation, such feelings that there is so much worry in my heart, so much anxiety, so much longing. So it's very hot. So that is how, sitting in my heart, a very hot place, you need all this to cool yourself. What an imagination. But it's the heart of a devotee. Now, today is Arudra Darshan Day, and I'm going to share an incident, an episode, which I had already shared with you, probably quite a few times in different places, but then we should remember that any anecdote, a leela of Bhagwan, the more and more you hear, and the more and more you think about it, the more and more deep you can go inside. If you cannot find any new meaning, a newness, a new enthusiasm for hearing it again, then there is something very wrong. If you feel bored, you can be sure that you have stopped growing. If you are growing spiritually, anything about God will only be interesting, because every time you read it or every time you hear it, you would find something new in it, something more interesting. Because God has such glory. Your understanding deepens. And so you find more and more new depths in it. Otherwise, if you think that Amma is only repeating words again and again and again, how boring it is, you can be sure you have stopped growing. For any book on spirituality, if you take, the ideas are getting repeated again and again in different forms and different ways in order to din it into our head. Otherwise, what we understand is only with the brain, and that we would soon forget, because there are so many other things sitting in the brain, the mind is already full. Now, with the episode, it was an Arudra Darshan day, way back, probably 88, 89, I don't remember exactly. I came all the way from Salem, taking leave from the college, and went straight to Sannadhi Street house. It was morning and it was locked. Then immediately I rushed to the temple, because on such days of crowd, he could easily be found in the temple. He would go there and bless all the people unknown to themselves. So when I entered hurriedly, I saw him sitting just a little away on the right side, near the Ashwatha tree, a peepal tree. There was a crowd around him. And I just stood there, transfixed, at a distance, and I was dissolving slowly in the happiness of finding him there. Such was my anxiety that I might not find him at all anywhere. Just then, he gestured with his eyes to come and sit. One had to be very, very alert, because he could be making a gesture with his hand or eyes. And if we missed it, we would miss the opportunity of being with him. So I ran and sat there along with the crowd. And then I looked around. People were going in crowds, huge crowds, walking straight into the inside. They would not look this side or that side. They were going straight inside. And suddenly this thought struck me. It was at once a wonder and for me particularly, personally, it was very sad that people are going straight inside the inner corridors just to have darshan of Lord Nataraja. And little did they understand that the same Nataraja was seated here in flesh and blood. In a very simple way, talking to us, laughing with us, communicating Father's blessings. And I was wondering how they could miss out. I was a little pained by the thought. And then suddenly I remembered it was the Arudra Darshan day, as a special day, the day Lord Shiva chose to dance for his wife Parvati and some intimate disciples. There is a story behind it. If we go into it, it would take longer time. Lord Shiva specially danced his cosmic dance. It's called Ananda Tandavam. For he did it for the sake of Vyaghrapada and Patanjali. They were doing tapas for years in order to witness his cosmic dance. Because the first time Shiva danced his cosmic dance, Lord Vishnu witnessed it. And he went into deep bliss, seeing that Adiseshan, the snake bed, remember, this Adiseshan asked, Swami, why are you in so much bliss? He said, I have just witnessed the cosmic dance of Shiva. Then Adiseshan developed a deep desire to witness the same thing. So he took leave of Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu said, you have to do tapas to get this. So he went down in the form of a rishi. It's called Patanjali. He had a human face and a human upper portion. The lower part of his body was, of course, the snake. Half snake and half human. And he went into tapas. And there was also another rishi, half tiger and half human. He also was doing tapas in order to witness this again. And when their tapas was ripe, Lord Shiva chose to give darshan to them and dance his cosmic dance. And that's how this day was chosen by Lord Shiva to do the dance in front of Vyaghrapada and Patanjali Muni. And of course, his divine consort, Parvati. So in remembrance of this occasion, this Arudra Darshan day is celebrated. As soon as I remembered, I also remembered Shri Ganesh of Ramana Ashram tell me several times how Bhagwan danced beautifully. Yogi Ramsuratkumar danced beautifully, especially in the cremation grounds, making the noise of Damaru, the drum, with his mouth, jumping from one slab to the other, with wide sweep of his hands and legs, swirling many, many times and jumping about. You can imagine. Well, I couldn't, and I so much wanted to see that, so the desire took over completely, and I was thinking, why wouldn't he dance today? This is the day he chose to dance for those people. Why wouldn't he dance today for the sake of us all? And I thought, I was just thinking about it, but I had no idea I had blurted it out. I had spoken it out, and then suddenly I remembered it was very impertinent of me to ask. I had asked him, will this Shiva dance today for all of us? I had no idea I had voiced it out. It just happened. But as soon as I realized that I had done it, I was trembling in fear, because he might ask me to get out also. If anything interfered with his father's work, he wouldn't tolerate it. But then, to my great wonder and surprise, all that Swami said was, why not? You can imagine the bliss that I went into at mere hearing of these words from his lips. Then I was so happy and convinced that Bhagwan was going to dance that day, because it was the most suitable occasion. Of course, as soon as he said, he picked up some conversation with somebody in the crowd, mostly village people from in and around Tiruvannamalai. So these conversations were going on. He was always at ease with these village people. They took such liberties with him, and he also took liberties with them. Then one lady came there. She was a buttermilk vendor, and she brought a mud pot of buttermilk, sat before him and said, with great liberty, "Swami, why don't you take a little of this buttermilk now? It's quite some time since you took it. Will you not have a little?" And Swami, with a beautiful, bewitching smile, said, "Vandama," meaning, don't want it. But she understood, and then she left. In the meantime, again he picked up conversation, very casual ones, with those people around. And suddenly, he boomed. He said, "Devaki, see, Shiva is dancing." He looked up. So I also looked up, and I saw where he was seeing, but all that I saw was the leaves of the Ashwatha tree moving from left to right. There was a breeze, and all these leaves were moving from left to right, making a rustle. I was thinking, what is this? Have we not seen it 100 times before? And he is calling it the dance of Shiva. I was least impressed. I just didn't care for what I saw, because all the time I was hung upon his cosmic dance. Of course, he understood that I didn't understand at all. He left it at that, and once again he became very casual with those people around, making some idle conversations. And then again a little time passed. In the most unexpected moment, he called out, "Devaki, see, Shiva is dancing." So with great excitement I looked up, and what did I see? A clear blue sky, which looked bluer than usual. And there was not a cloud in sight. And there were these 3 white birds gliding gracefully in a certain formation. Certainly it was the most beautiful scene, and I enjoyed seeing it, but that was only a beauty. And I even thought if Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had seen this, he would go into samadhi. Unfortunately, I could not react any other way. I just enjoyed the beauty of the scene, and that was about all. And he understood once again that I didn't understand. He left it at that and picked up some more conversation with those people. And then a Brahmin lady came with a carrier carrying food. They would make kali, the rice powder mixed with jaggery and cooked well. That is the favorite of Lord Shiva, that's what they say. So she had brought some vegetables and this, with also a banana leaf, and she said, "Swami, I have brought this for you. Will you please take it?" Swami looked at her and smiled, and then he gestured to me, seated with the crowd, to come forward. He pointed to a place near him and said, "You sit down here." I was trembling, but I sat down, I just obeyed. And then he looked at that Mami, that Brahmin lady, and said, "Amma, Will you please spread that banana leaf for her, in front of her, and serve whatever you have brought for this beggar? I was feeling very embarrassed because it was the temple, Arunachaleshwara temple, and there were so many people around, and everybody was looking at me, and I was the focus of attention for them. And I had to eat, but then I couldn't say no, so I just sat there watching everything. She served some kali and some vegetables also. Now, suddenly my eyes caught the sight of a millipede, which was just coming fast. It was black in color with yellow spots on either side. It had many legs, and it was crawling very fast. Always, whenever I looked at such a creature, I would feel disgusted to the point of vomiting. I had this peculiar feeling. So once again, a disgust overwhelmed me, and I was looking at it, and suddenly I was afraid it was coming straight to me and it might climb up the food that was served. Even the thought, once again, made me shudder, and I felt like vomiting. You just see how strong the reaction was. But suddenly, as it came near the banana leaf, his voice boomed again. Now this time with greater force, that I started to tremble again. The whole body became vibrant, and a strange sensation took over. Now when I looked at it, it was no more a disgusting creature with an ugly appearance. There was such beauty, such grace. It was truly the dance of Shiva. It was the movement of Shiva's gesture. And suddenly, in a flash, I understood what he meant. Here was a creature which was very disgusting to me. Minutes before that, I felt like vomiting. I was afraid it would climb up the food before me. And suddenly everything changed. The whole world changed. And there was only beauty, a precise, graceful movement of this creature, and I felt it was Shiva dancing. How can we feel like that? One moment before, it was so disgusting, a mere creature. The next moment, it was Lord Shiva dancing. You can imagine what I would have gone through. And of course, in a flash, I understood that every movement in nature is his dance, his gesture of dance. Everything that's moving in this whole cosmos is he and his dance. The realization of this great truth transported me to another world for a few seconds. And then his voice once again boomed. He said, Devaki, Shiva is always dancing. Learn to see it. So that was the end of the Leela. Then of course I gobbled up whatever was before me. By then the creature also had left. It was going far away. And then just then Lord Nataraja chose to come out of the shrine. There was a procession. There were many, many people in the front and many at the back. And he started his procession of the outer corridor. So Swami in one jump got up and the crowd also dispersed. Everybody ran to Nataraja and Swami was going behind all of them with his hand raised in benediction. Once again the thought took over, made me speechless. Here was Lord Nataraja in flesh and blood, with raised hand in benediction, and little did those people understand what was going on. They were only showing their back to him and moving with Lord Nataraja, but this Nataraja was blessing them without giving them a chance to see him. Now my dilemma was to follow him or move away from him, because it was very clear he had concluded the session. But then, who would go away? So I began to follow him, but I was also scared that if he found me following him, with just one gesture he might dismiss me altogether, and I had no choice but to leave. So whenever he turned a little behind, I would go into hiding. And then a little more distance, he would bless those people and then turn halfway. I would immediately run to the next place of hiding. But somehow we completed the whole pradakshina. And when Lord Nataraja returned to his shrine, there were hardly anybody around, and I could not see him. He seemed to have disappeared altogether. So I was searching, I was ransacking the whole place, and suddenly at a distance I found him in a corner, standing. And then he started to dance. In the very same way Shri Ganesh of Ramana Ashram described, jumping and swirling with wide sweep of his hands and legs, running here and there. It was truly the cosmic dance of Lord Shiva. It happened only for a few seconds, and after that he stopped. Then I quietly moved away, unable to stand there anymore, with a deep sense of fulfillment and the realization of the truth that everything is Shiva, Shiva consciousness, and every movement is Shiva's gesture of dance. Just see how a living master, a great master, teaches the loftiest truth through a simple demonstration. So let's remember, whenever you see something moving, of course everything in this world is moving, kinetic, on the move all the time. Every particle, every matter is on the move. We know how the earth is moving, how the planets are moving, how the galaxies are moving. It's all the cosmic dance of Shiva. So wherever you see, whatever you see, remember Lord Shiva. It is his expression, his gestures, graceful gestures of dance, mudras. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. Bhagwan, we beg you again and again, a million times, for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to the world in all aspects of life. Because the world today is very frightening with its violence and growing enmity between people and people, with the war already going on, with all its atrocities. And there is this sudden attacks of vicious diseases, some of them killer diseases, and of course the furies of nature. You are the cosmic controller. We beg you to bring in peace, harmony, and order where there is so much chaos and enmity. Friendship and brotherhood and mutual help and understanding, and a good control over these diseases and the violence of nature. Only you can do it. All that we can do is beg you. And Bhagwan, we beg you again to uproot all the negativities of the human mind that are responsible for today's world. We also beg you to reach out to those people who have been stranded in varied parts of the world for some reason or the other, which of course is due to their past karma, unable to find help or protection. They belong to different countries, speak different languages, have embraced different faiths. We beg you to give them, to do the needful and give them help and protection. We also beg you to protect all those unselfish people who have been doing hard, who have been working hard, doing service selflessly for the sake of the others. Protection from what? Unhealthy criticisms, unhealthy aspersion. We also beg you to promote the economy of the country and the growth in varied fields of activity, that India reaches its highest, the highest status as the world teacher, running the whole world in the path of dharma, guiding the world in the path of dharma. We pray to you in all earnestness for ceaseless chanting of your powerful name and unbroken remembrance of your teachings and leelas, that we should digest it, assimilate it, and that it should become Atma Shakti. We beg you to bless us, to be sattvic instruments in your hands, only sattvic instruments, that we should run our everyday life as an offering to you, and that we should not be caught by the temptations of Maya, because once we fall into the pit of Maya, no idea how many years it would take or how many births it would take to come out of it. We seek that ultimate state of bliss and peace, but then we need to be purified. We take refuge in your powerful Nama chanting, and that with joy, that it becomes our Atma Shakti. We also take refuge in joyful service to you without any unhealthy competition or jealousy, and that in the spirit of surrender to you. Wherever you are, whether you are in a house or a forest or this country or that country, whatever work falls into our hand, we should learn to do it as an offering to you, as service to you. Then every work that we do becomes worship and Atma Shakti. And finally, we beg you to bless us to practice acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow, coming from you can only be a great blessing, and that would push us towards you. Otherwise, we may not bother with you at all. So it's meant for our greater good and closer kinship with you. It's meant for our spiritual growth. As we progress, we will be able to see your pulsating, vibrant, living presence everywhere in everything. And we would also know it is your sankalpa, your will that's behind all the happenings of life. Bhagwan, please bless us to be able to detect your hidden grace even in the most disastrous experiences of life. When there is a sudden attack of some past karma beginning to play up, everything in life would misfire. Everything would go wrong. An innocent word would assume such proportions of suffering, and then we would resent you. We would begin to blame everybody for our own failures. We would collapse and we would try to move away, but you, out of your generosity and love, would keep us at your feet and convert all our adversities into blessings. Please bless us to be grateful to you, even for the sufferings of life. And we seek your blessings for all the species of the cosmos, in whatever state of being they are, whatever state of misery they are, to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we who have been trying to find only solutions to our endless problems of life, seek dissolution of that which is the root cause of all evil, the ego self, so that we be free from the vicious cycle of births and deaths. Bhagwan, please bless us with that immortal life, with that eternal living and eternal servitude to you, that eternal supreme divinity. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.